You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty the Sultan issues 17 royal decrees. A celebration is held in Musandam Governorate to commemorate the 6th glorious anniversary of His Majesty the Sultan's accession to the throne. The Central Public Health Laboratory is inaugurated using the latest advanced technologies at a cost exceeding 18 million Omani Riyals. And the Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology confirms during a media meeting that the volume of investments in logistics sector has increased to more than 3 billion and 400 million Omani Riyals. Welcome to our news centre. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issues 17 royal decrees.
Royal Decree Number 7 over 2026, Article 1, establishes the Office of the Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs. Article 2, the scope of responsibilities of the Office of Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs are determined according to the attached Annex Number 1. Article 3 approves the organizational structure of the Office of the Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs according to the attached Annex Number 2. Article 4, this decree shall be published in the Official Gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree Number 8 over 2026. Article 1 establishes the International Financial Centre of Oman, and it shall have legal personality, financial and administrative independence and affiliates to Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs. Article 2 enacts the attached law of International Financial Centre of Oman. Article 3, this decree shall be published in the Official Gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree Number 9 over 2026. Article 1 cancels the Supreme Committee for Conferences. Article 2, this decree shall be published in the Official Gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree Number 10 over 2026. Article 1. The Secretariat General of the Council of Ministers shall have legal personality and shall enjoy financial and administrative independence and determines its scope of responsibilities according to the attached Annex Number 1. Article 2 approves the organizational structure of the Secretariat General of the Council of Ministers according to attached Annex Number 2. Article 3 transfers to the Secretariat General of the Council of Ministers the specializations, allocations, assets, rights, liabilities and inventories of the Government Communication Centre in the Ministry of Information and the Directorate General of Quality and Government Excellence Management in Oman Vision 2040 Implementation Follow-up Unit. Article 4 transfers employees of the Government Communication Centre in the Ministry of Information and the Directorate General of Quality and Government Excellence Management in Oman Vision 2040 Implementation Follow-up Unit to Secretariat General of the Council of Ministers with their same financial grades. Article 5 cancels Royal Decree Number 31 over 2014 and items number 24, 25 and 27 from the Annex Number 1 attached to Royal Decree Number 95 over 2020 and items number 5, 6, 7 and 8 from the Annex Number 1 attached to the Royal Decree Number 100 over 2020 and cancels all that contradicts with the decree or contravene with its provisions. Article 6. This decree shall be published in the Official Gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 11 over 2026 on establishing Research and Innovation Authority, determining its scope of responsibilities and approving its organizational structure. Article 1 establishes public authority named Research and Innovation Authority and shall have legal personality, financial and administrative independence and shall affiliate to the Council of Ministers. Article 2, the headquarter of the Research and Innovation Authority shall be in the Governorate of Muscat, and by a decision of the Board of Directors of the authority, branches may be established in other governorates. Article 3, scope of responsibilities of the Research and Innovation Authority shall be determined according to the Annex number 1. Article 4, the organizational structure of the Research and Innovation Authority shall be approved according to the Annex number 2. Article 5, transfers to Research and Innovation Authority all specializations, allocations, assets, rights, liabilities and inventories of the Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation related to research and innovation. Employees of the ministry concerned with research and innovation shall be transferred to the Research and Innovation Authority with their same financial grades. Article 6, the phrases Minister of Higher Education, Research and Innovation and Minister of Higher Education, Research and Innovation shall be replaced with the phrases Research and Innovation Authority and Chairman of Research and Innovation Authority, respectively, wherever they are mentioned in laws and royal decrees related to research and innovation. Article 7 cancels all that contradict with this decree or contravene with its provisions. Article 8, this decree shall be published in the Official Gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 12 over 2026, Article 1 amends the name of Omani Authority for Academic Accreditation and Quality Assurance of Education to Omani Authority for Quality Assurance of Education and determines its specializations according to the attached Annex number 1. Article 2 approves the organizational structure of Omani Authority for Quality Assurance of Education according to the attached Annex number 2. Article 3 transfers to Omani Authority for Quality Assurance of Education all specializations, allocations, assets, rights, liabilities, and inventories related to professional licenses, national and international studies from Ministry of Education. Article 4 transfers to Omani Authority for Quality Assurance of Education employees of divisions related to the professional licenses, national and international studies from the Ministry of Education with their financial grades according to coordination between chairmen of both units. Article 5 replaces the phrases Omani Authority for Academic Accreditation and Quality Assurance of Education and CEO wherever mentioned with Omani Authority for Quality Assurance of Education and Chairman of the Authority wherever they are mentioned in laws and royal decrees. Article 6 cancels all that contradict with this decree or contravene with its provisions. Article 7. This decree shall be published in the Official Gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 13 over 2026, Article 1 determines the specializations of the Minister of Economy according to the attached Annex number 1. Article 2 approves the organizational structure of the Minister of Economy according to the Annex number 2. Article 3 merges Oman Vision 2040 Follow-up Implementation Unit in the Minister of Economy and all allocations, assets, rights, liabilities and inventories of Oman Vision 2040 Follow-up Implementation Unit to this ministry and transfers all employees of this unit with their same financial grades. Article 4, without prejudice to the provisions of aforementioned Royal Decree number 10 over 2026, replaces Oman Vision 2040 Follow-up Implementation Unit and Chairman of Oman Vision 2040 Follow-up Implementation Unit wherever mentioned in laws and royal decrees with Minister of Economy and Minister of Economy. Article 5 cancels all that contradict with this decree or contravene with its provisions. Article 6, this decree shall be published in the Official Gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 14 over 2026 on merging Minister of Education and Minister of Higher Education, Research and Innovation in one ministry called Minister of Education and determines its specializations and approves its organizational structure. Article 1 merges Minister of Education and Minister of Higher Education, Research and Innovation in one ministry called Minister of Education and determines its specializations according to the Annex number 1. Article 2 approves the organizational structure of Minister of Education according to the Annex number 2. Article 3 transfers to Minister of Education specializations, allocations, rights, liabilities, inventories and employees of both ministries with their financial grades. Article 4, without prejudice to the provisions of aforementioned Royal Decree number 11 over 2026 and Royal Decree number 12 over 2026, replaces the phrases Minister of Education and Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation wherever mentioned in laws and royal decrees with Minister of Education and Minister of Education. Article 5 cancels all that contradict with this decree or contravene with its provisions. Article 6, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 15 over 2026, Article 1 determines specializations of the Ministry of Social Development according to the attached Annex number 1. Article 2 approves the organizational structure of Ministry of Social Development according to the attached Annex number 2. Article 3 cancels Royal Decree number 14 over 2024 and cancels all that contradict with this decree or contravene with its provisions. Article 4, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 16 over 2026, amending system of Oman Investments Authority. Article 1 replaces text of Article 12 of Oman Investments Authority with the following. The chairman shall have 2 deputies whose appointment shall be issued by a royal decree and shall have all administrative and financial authority within the regulations of the authority. Article 2 cancels all that contradict with this decree or contravene with its provisions. Article 3, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 17 over 2026, restructuring the Council of Ministers. Article 1, restructuring the Council of Ministers under His Majesty's chairmanship as follows. His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers. His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq bin Taimur Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for Defence Affairs. His Highness Sayyid Yazin bin Haytham bin Tariq Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs. His Highness Sayyid bin Arab bin Haytham bin Tariq Al Saeed, Minister of the State and Governor of Muscat. Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal bin Saud Al Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of the Royal Court. General Sultan bin Muhammad Al Nu'mani, Minister of Royal Office. Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal bin Saeed Al Busaidi, Minister of Interior. Sayyid Badr bin Hamad bin Hamoud Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister. Sultan bin Salim bin Saeed Al Habsi, Minister of Finance. Dr. Madiha bint Ahmed bin Nasser Al Shaybani, Minister of Education. Sayyid Saud bin Hilal bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth. Dr. Abdullah bin Muhammad bin Saeed Al Saidi, Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs. Dr. Abdullah bin Nasser bin Khalifa Al Harrasi, Minister of Information. Dr. Khamis bin Saif bin Hamoud Al Jabri, Minister of Economy. Sayyid Ibrahim bin Saeed bin Ibrahim Al Busaidi, Minister of Heritage and Tourism. Dr. Saud bin Hamoud bin Ahmed Al Habsi, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources. Dr. Khalfan bin Saeed bin Mubarak Al Shuaili, Minister of Housing and Urban Planning. Engineer Saeed bin Hamoud bin Saeed Al Ma'wali, Minister of Transport, Communications and Information Technology. Dr. Layla bint Ahmed bin Awad Al Najjar, Minister of Social Development. Dr. Mahad bin Saeed bin Ali Ba'wain, Minister of Labor. Engineer Salim bin Nasser bin Saeed Al Aufi, Minister of Energy and Minerals. Dr. Muhammad bin Saeed bin Khalfan Al Ma'mari, Minister of Endowments and Religious Affairs. Dr. Hilal bin Ali bin Hilal Al Sabti, Minister of Health. Anwar bin Hilal bin Hamdoun Al Jabri, Minister of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion. Article 2. This decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 18 over 2026 appointing to some positions. Article 1 appoints Qais bin Mohammed bin Musa Al Yusuf as chairman of the Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones with the same grade and financial allocations. Article 2 appoints Sayyid Faisal bin Hamoud bin Nasr Al Busaidi as governor of Musandam at a rank of minister. Article 3 this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 19 over 2026 appointing advisors. Article 1 appoints Sheikh Dr. Ali bin Mas'ud bin Ali As-Sunaidi as an advisor at the Diwan of the Royal Court with the same grade and financial allocations. Article 2 appoints Dr. Saeed bin Mohammed bin Ahmed As-Saqri as an economic advisor at the Office of the Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs with the same grade and financial allocations. Article 3 this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 20 over 2026 granting Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Abdullah bin Zahra Al Hinai, ambassador at large at the Foreign Ministry, the rank of minister. Article 2 this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 21 over 2026 appointing some positions. Article 1 appoints the following on the position next to their names. His Highness Sayyid Harib bin Thuwaini bin Shihab Al Saeed, advisor at the Diwan of the Royal Court with the same grade and financial allocations. Majid bin Saeed bin Sulaiman Al Bahri, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Education for Administrative and Financial Affairs with the same grade and financial allocations. Dr. Saif bin Abdullah bin Sulaiman Al-Haddabi, Chairman of the Research and Innovation Authority with the same grade and financial allocations. Sheikh Rashid bin Ahmed bin Rashid Al-Shamsi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Social Development for Family Affairs and Community Development with the same grade and financial allocations. Dr. Jocha bint Abdullah bin Hamoud Al-Shukaili, Chairperson of Oman Authority for Quality Assurance of Education with the same grade and financial allocations. Sayyid Dr. Mundhir bin Hilal bin Badr Al Busaidi, head of Oman Vision 2040 Implementation Follow-up Unit in the Ministry of Economy with the same grade and financial allocations. Dr. Badr bin Hamoud bin Rashid Al Kharousi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Education for Education with the same grade and financial allocations. Dr. Abdullah bin Ali bin Saeed Al Shibli, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Education for Higher Education. Dr. Intisar bint Abdullah bin Sulaiman Ambu Saidi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Education for Educational Support Programs. Ghalib bin Saeed bin Majid Al-Ma'mari, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investments Promotion for Commerce and Industry. Saeed bin Abdullah bin Mohammed Al-Balushi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Labour for Human Resources Development. Dr. Abdullah bin Hamoud bin Abdullah Al-Harthi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Social Development for Persons with Disabilities Affairs. Dr. Yusuf bin Salim bin Mohammed Al-Hinai, Head of the Communication and Government Performance Development Unit at the General Secretariat of the Council of Ministers with a special grade. Tahir bin Mabkhut bin Ali Al-Junaybi, Governor of the Al-Zahira with a special grade. Engineer Ahmed bin Saeed bin Mohammed Al-Amri, Chairman of Muscat Municipality with a special grade. Zahir bin Sulaiman bin Salim Al-Salmi, Deputy Chairman of the State Financial and Administrative Audit Authority for Government Units Auditing. Sayyid Hamoud bin Sultan bin Hamid Al-Busaidi, Advisor at the Diwan of the Royal Court with a special grade. Article 2. This decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 22 over 2026, Article 1 appoints Mulham bin Bashir bin Abdullah Al-Jarf, Deputy Chairman of Oman Investment Authority for Investment. Article 2 appoints Munir bin Ali bin Nasser Al-Muniri, Deputy Chairman of Oman Investment Authority for Operations. Article 3, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 23 over 2026. Article 1 appoints Dr. Mansour bin Saif bin Khamis al-Mandari as member of the State Council. Article 2 this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue.
To create an attractive environment for investments, commercial banks and global financial institutions specializing in commercial and Islamic banking, financial and insurance services and other supporting activities here in the country, the International Financial Center of Oman was established. Joining us here live in the studio is Arij bint Abdesattar Al-Hashim, who is a project manager at the International Financial Center of Oman, to shed light on this important center and its role in the upcoming period. Arij, first of all, welcome, and also can you talk to us about the International Financial Center of Oman in terms of its importance, its strategic objectives and also its roles?
Thank you for hosting me, Mr. Ahmed. Today marks a milestone for Oman because as this royal decree has been issued for the International Financial Center of Oman's law, this remarks a transformational step for the financial sector and the wider economic of Oman as well. Because of the role this International Financial Center will play in achieving Oman's 2040 objectives. So for example, it will support in the economic diversification journey of Oman, whether directly through enhancing the role of the financial sector in the GDP, as well as the indirect impact with the other sectors, like, for example, the real estate, tourism, hospitality, logistics, and others. Also, this center will help in attracting investments and capital by providing an international legal framework which is based on the common law, also because of the competitive incentives that this center will provide, coupled with the business process efficiencies.
Yes, can you walk us through the legal and legislative framework of the center?
So basically, the center's legislative and legal framework has been designed to meet the international best practices. And it's based on common law, and it's aligned with the globally recognized standards, and is supported by a strong governance, as it has an independent board. And talking about the structure of the center as well, it consists of 3 independent bodies. The authority, which is the operational body. Then we have the regulator, which is responsible for regulating the financial and ancillary services. And then we have the dispute resolution authority, which is responsible for the judicial part, and all the courts and international judges will be part of it. So basically, this international legal framework and this robust governance, it provides confidence for the investors and also legal certainty, predictability, and it ensures that we are applying the highest standard of transparency, integrity, and accountability.
Brilliant. What is the expected economic and investment impact of this International Financial Center here in Oman and in the upcoming period?
So in terms of its impact, it will have impact on different aspects, whether you talk about it from the broader economy perspective, from the financial sector, and also from the Oman businesses perspective. So for example, as an Omani business, I have an opportunity to work in an integrated ecosystem that provides me a common law infrastructure, that provides incentives, whether it's through the tax exemptions and as well as efficient cost of doing businesses. And also it helps me to scale my operations and provide my services regionally and internationally. And also, if I talk about it from the financial sector perspective, it provides new products and innovative services, and also it attracts the talent, specialized talent in the financial sector because of the presence of the international institutions that we will be having. And also from the wider economic perspective, so it's the spillover impact resulted from the demand and activity created in the center it will have impact on other non-hydrocarbon sectors as well. Real estate, tourism, hospitality, and all this creates jobs and creates opportunities.
This is what we're looking forward to here in the Sultanate of Oman. Arij, what are the key factors contributing to the success of the centre? How can we all work together collaboratively to make this ensure your success?
So the biggest advantage is that the centre is based in Oman, which is known for its long history of political neutrality and stability, and also because of its strategic location that provides seamless connectivity to regional and international markets. And in addition to that, Oman is known for its diverse and inclusive culture, which makes it a favorable place for investors. And on top of these national strengths, this center offers international standard legal framework. It offers competitive cost, whether it's through the tax incentives or the efficiency in the cost of doing businesses. It provides customer-centered services.
Lovely. Arij bint Abd Sattar Al Hashim, Project Manager at the International Financial Centre of Oman. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
As part of the national celebrations marking the 6th glorious accession day of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, the Governorate of Musandam hosted a national celebration titled A Pledge and a Promise. The event was held on Bassa Beach and witnessed wide public participation as citizens and residents gathered to express their loyalty and pride on this cherished occasion. The celebration reflected deep national unity and reaffirmed the values of allegiance and commitment to the blessed Renaissance led by His Majesty the Sultan. Participants emphasized that the accession day represents a renewed pledge to continue building the nation, supporting development efforts and advancing Oman's path of progress and prosperity under the wise leadership of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq. During its first meeting of this year, the Board of Trustees of the Royal Academy of Management reviewed the Academy's achievements for the year 2025. The meeting also discussed the Academy's strategic trends for 2026, which focus on continuing work on the initiative to integrate Oman into the global economy, thereby contributing to the strengthening of its economic presence and building effective partnerships. At the conclusion of the meeting, the Academy's annual plan was approved. This plan includes a comprehensive set of initiatives, projects and studies, all within a defined time frame. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of Royal Court and Chairman of the Board of Trustees. The Ministry of Health today inaugurated the Central Public Health Laboratory, strengthening national health security and public health preparedness. The ceremony was held under the patronage of His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Minister of Interior, in the presence of His Excellency Dr. Hilal bin Ali Al Sabti, Minister of Health. More details in the following report.
From Muscat and from a vision that places health at the heart of national security, the Sultanate of Oman today inaugurated the Central Public Health Laboratory. A landmark scientific institution and a new chapter in Oman's public health journey. Established by the royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, may God protect and preserve him. The laboratory is designed to serve as a national, regional and global reference center in public health laboratories.
We are very happy with today's inauguration, which marks a milestone for the Ministry of Health. The Central Public Health Laboratory acts as a definitive nerve center for national health security. Beyond standard testing, its primary mission is to provide the critical intelligence needed to detect, monitor, and neutralize biological threats before they become uncontrollable.
This state-of-the-art facility goes beyond routine diagnostics. It strengthens early warning systems, disease surveillance and rapid response, and hosts World Health Organization collaborating reference laboratories, including those for polio, influenza, measles and rubella, alongside a specialized center for emerging and re-emerging diseases. Built to the highest international biosafety standards, the laboratory includes high containment facilities BSL-2 and BSL-3 and advanced units for bacteriology, genomic sequencing, antimicrobial resistance, newborn screening, environmental health and food safety. More than a building, the Central Public Health Laboratory is a scientific platform supporting national epidemiological surveillance, developing Oman expertise, advancing research and reinforcing health security and biosecurity at both national and regional levels. Today, Oman sends a clear message. Investments in science, people and public health is an investment in resilience, preparedness and global trust. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Thank you, Abdullah. The Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology held its 13th media briefing, during which it reviewed recent achievements in transport, logistics and digital transformation and outlined priorities supporting Oman Vision 2040. Here is more in this report.
Progress across the Sultanate of Oman is seen on roads that link communities, in ports that move trade, and through digital services that bring government closer to people. At its 13th media briefing on the 10th five-year plan, the Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology outlined road projects worth nearly 1.2 billion Omani riyals being implemented across several governorates, with major roads scheduled to open in 2026.
A lot of the important roads have started work, and in fact we are ahead of schedule. Example of this will be the Sultan Faisal bin Turki Road, 64% achievements versus 58% planned. Sultan Saeed bin Taimur Road is going in a very good progress. This is the road that links north of Oman to south of Oman. Very important work when it comes to the Batina Coastal Road. The maintenance work as well in the various roads have also improved.
Stronger connectivity has supported logistics growth. Investment in the logistics sector reached around 3.4 billion Omani riyals, alongside revenue growth across ports, maritime affairs and land transport. Omani ports also recorded higher cargo and container volumes during 2025, reflecting improved efficiency.
The number of ships increased from 10,000 ships a year to 13,000 ships. The handling of goods increased in 2021 from 87 million tons in 2021 to 140 last year. The number of passengers when it comes to the cruise ships increased from 47,000 to 200,000.
The logistics efficiency and time framing. Once suppose the vessel is coming, how fast offloading, loading, the monitoring the technology. So logistic will be very fast and reduce the time to in and out. The mostly this project will be the one platform.
In the digital economy, Oman strengthened its international standing in 2025, ranking 41st globally in e-government development and 50th in the network readiness, while achieving Tier 1 status in global cybersecurity. The Sultanate of Oman also ranked first in the Arab world and 50th globally in postal development and 9th worldwide in open data. The briefing showed infrastructure and innovation moving together to strengthen resilience, support diversification, and prepare the economy for the next phase of growth. Reporting from Muscat, this is Saleh bin Khalfan Al-Rahbi.
Thank you, Saleh. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television, and before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty the Sultan issues 17 royal decrees. A celebration is held in Musandam Governorate to commemorate the 6th glorious anniversary of His Majesty the Sultan's accession to the throne. The Central Public Health Laboratory is inaugurated using the latest advanced technologies at a cost exceeding 18 million Omani Riyals. And the Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology confirms during a media meeting that the volume of investments in logistics sector has increased to more than 3,400 million Omani Riyals. With that, we do come to the end of tonight's news bulletin from all of us here at the newsroom and the studios. It is good night and stay safe.